Yes, 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 yes. West, y'all. We back, we back, we back. This is the Shield. Welcome to the Shield. Welcome for we appreciate y'all for being around for Thanksgiving. We understand that some people celebrate, some people don't. But what we want to do is take time out to thank you all for coming on in here on this Wednesday night as you preparing these great meals for tomorrow, right? Which is great. But I want to introduce you to my brother, Young Romy.
Hey, what's up, good people? We know people traveling on the highways and the byways, wherever you traveling, travel safely. Don't rush things. One of the funniest things I see every day is somebody getting past me just to meet me at the red light, and I do the Kermit the Frog. I look over. Really?
Hey, that's the funniest part, man. People be trying to drive off fast just to be at the same light. What up, Lo? I'll see you in the comments. Thank you so much for being so diligent. And every week,
Low.
be low in that comments, right? So look, King Lemuel, I think he is probably visiting his mom. So at this time, we just gonna go ahead and get started. We won't be before you long. This is gonna be a short, sweet call. I thought we would be remiss if we didn't come in here to let our audience know how much we appreciate y'all and how much we appreciate life in general. So we just want to talk about thankfulness and being grateful. And so that's what we're gonna take. Now we ain't getting into the Native Americans and the Pilgrims and why they so we not getting into none of that, right? We don't celebrate either. But what we do is we want to take time to give thanks to our audience for listening and for just being alive. So, Rome, tell us, man, hey, what you got to be thankful for this year, man?
Man, a whole lot, brother. First of all, I just went and did my annual physical yesterday. And so every year, you got to get your checkups. And my doctor, he was like, listen, he said, you should be good enough for another 45 years. I was like, oh, yeah? I said, hey, that's the goal, man. 45 and I'm out. I said, that's it. And I don't need no, like they say in Spanish, no mas. That's it. No more. But I think that what I'm thankful for, man, first of all, um, I thank God for family. You know, just to have your family, have somebody, they talk about the helpmate, you talk about your kids. Uh, Even though the kids, they'll give you 1,000 gray hairs. He know the numbers on your head. I don't, but I know I got a lot of these grays. And the kids will give you some grays, folks. I don't care how holy your house is. You have enough of them, they gonna put some gray hairs there. But you gotta love them, in spite of. Friends, definitely. I thank the Lord for you, Suge, Lim, the brothers on here, the young ladies on here, Low. Everybody has been supporting us the whole time. Because when you come into a new year, sometimes you don't know how it's going to kick off or start, but you do know that you have your goals. And one of the things we talked about was kicking this off. We didn't know how it was going to be, but we got to jump out there with that parachute, and if it opens, it opens. If it don't, we still got the faith that things gonna happen. We'll land safely. So that's what I'm thankful for, man. I'll hear what you got to say, brother.
Well, I'm thankful for a lot too, but let me just start here. I think I'm gonna just start here. I'm really, really thankful for Big Mama. Right? You hear me make jokes all the time or be able to give a lot of insight on Big Mama. But let me break this thing down for you, right? And I should not tell you this, but when we live and I can't go back, right? But I really, really didn't know my Big Mama like that. Right? I ain't gonna tell y'all that, right? I was about 9 when my Big Mama died, and that was real Big Mama. That was her name for real, right? I learned her real name many years later, right? But this is my Big Mama, right? And then my other grandmother, I did not know. I was, she passed away before I was born, right? But the thing I love about Big Mama is I met a lot of seniors along the way. Just in case y'all don't know, I work with seniors on a regular basis, so I see them often, right? But I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my aunts of the world and Mama Hayes and my Aunt Frances and my aunt Brula, and just a lot of my aunts that has been in my life that steered me in the right direction, Rome. So when I tell you, sometimes I want to get off track. And then all it takes for me is to pick up the phone and call one of my aunts or my big mama, so to say, and then they'll let me know, keep on living, baby. If I did it, you could do it. Or if God would never leave you, nor would he ever forsake you. And there's something about that big mama with the, the little fat to hang down. Roll, you know the little fat to hang down there. It's something about the big mamas that you could grab her arm or she put her arm around you and put your head in her bosom, and you know that things are gonna be okay. And so to me, that's the problem with the world. Y'all always want to pick up guns and y'all want to fight and do all this crazy stuff. But if you take 1 minute just to listen to your big mama, she gonna knock some sense into your head just if you listen right. Matter of fact, the Bible say, let me just tell you what the Bible say. The Bible say a wise man seeketh counsel. That's a scripture, right? So to me, I always found myself on the phone with my big mom. What should I do now? I'm up against the wall. And one time I was talking to my big mama, and I say big mama because I talk to all the singers, right? I was talking to my big mama. She say, God won't put too much on you than you can handle. And I was like, what that mean? And I was talking to one of the ministers I knew. He was like, man, that ain't in there. That ain't in the Bible. So I started researching it myself and I found it. And not only that, me and Rome discovered something very powerful. Rome hit him with it. It say, God won't put too much on you than you can bear. Well, what's the comma after that, Romy?
And the comma is, he said, he'll make a way to escape. And you don't hear pastors most time go all the way to that last part. They stop right there. That comma is important because it means there's some heat coming after that.
And so he will provide an escape. And so to me, I just appreciate, if you asking me, I just appreciate my big mama because she keep me grounded, keep me humbled. And please understand, when I say big mama, I mean all the seniors or elders that I am in communication with. So I pay very, very close attention to a lot of seniors because they help me lead me in the right direction, even though I want to steer wrong. It's people out here that owe me money. It's people out here to slander my name. It's people out here lying on me. It's a lot of stuff. But God say, love your enemies. I mean, this one big mama say, and God say, love your enemies. Pray for those who despitefully use you. And so for me, I just want to take this time just to thank my big mama and thank my family, everybody that showed me a numerous amount of support. Thank you to my friends, the people that really got my back, my best interest at heart. I love y'all. So what you say, Ron? What you thinking? What you thinking? So what's your favorite dish that you gonna have tomorrow? Let's switch gears. What's
Switching gears. Speaking on the dishes, man, I tell people all the time, it's some things you can mess up at Thanksgiving if I come to somebody's house, family member, friend, but you can't mess up my favorite dish, which is the mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is the dish that I'm looking forward to the most. And so that's the one that that's my favorite right there, brother.
Well, you know what, Rome? I normally don't do this. Normally, I go and sit out the way. I could cook, but sometimes I just go and sit out the way and let somebody else do it, right? But this time, I hyped myself up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a peach cobbler. Right? I ain't never in my life did no peach cobbler, but this time I'm gonna come on out here and do it. So I'm gonna send you a picture of a Romy to see how it come out, man. So I am gonna do a peach cobbler. So I am looking forward to a lot of good food, but most importantly, I want to see my Bears beat Detroit.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying, I want to see them at least be in some good competition, right? And then I want to see if this peach cobbler is gonna turn out good. And I'm just looking forward to just communing with family, man. Just sitting down with family, shooting the breeze, and getting back to what it used to be, man. I think that's what grabbed my attention. Let's get back to 2300 Jackson Street. Let's go back to the family, man, where everybody used to be over Big Mama house, and we couldn't even fit in there.
Hey, so let me know. Let's back up. You said peach cobbler. So is this a family recipe or are you on YouTube?
Man, I'm doing the freestyle. So
Oh Lord.
I talked to my
Go
mom.
pray for him now.
So look, I talked to my mom. I talked to my aunt Brula. They gave me what I should do. They told me it wasn't hard. They gave me all the recipes, and then I went to go buy the stuff, and then I'm gonna go to YouTube, and then I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna do my little own spin to it, and then we gonna see what it do.
Hey, well you doing that new, and I got the turkey on the grill new tomorrow. So
On the
I'm getting up.
grill.
Yeah, I'm waking up at old dark 30. So I'll let y'all know how it is.
How long that's gonna take?
Well,
Is that like
about that.
2 hours?
What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a smoke thing. So it's gonna be slow cooking. So you know how so basically midnight all the way until 12 noon. I'm gonna have the whole thing going 12 hours. Keep it
Wow.
going slow cooking the joint.
Wow. Wow.
It might be
Okay.
done before 12 because I'm gonna be eyeballing it. You know what I mean? And it's not like a brisket or whatever, but slow cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that and that's thankfulness. We talked about food. Let's this is the last thing because it's not gonna be a long call tonight, y'all. I just want to be able to just show our face, right? But Ron, could you tell us one of your favorite throwback family gatherings that you could remember when you was a shorty?
Man, so my family, we used to always go to. You talk about Big Mama. We used to go to my grandmother's house, my mother's mom house a lot, and I remember one of my uncles. One of my uncles lived here in Georgia, and the other two in Detroit. But this particular year, my uncle, came over there, and he was a character, man. So like they playing spades, and I remember telling him like, "Hey, man, you got to make sure you paying attention because." I said, it looked like they trying to pull one over on you. He's like, I know you lying. I was like, listen, man. I said, listen, I'm telling you, they tried to get you. It was my cousins. So I just remember him not paying attention. And then before you know it, renege happened. He never caught it. So when it got to the end of the game and he see how many books they had, he turned the whole table over. Like, no, y'all cheat. Hey, but the good thing is the food wasn't on the table like that. Because I think if the food would have been on the table and he did that, I think it would have really went from 0 to 100 real quick. Because everybody would have lost it. But it was just funny to see how a card game. That's why I told you I don't play the spades because I seen too much, man. To this day, I seen too much to where I don't even get to enjoy it like everybody else. That's why I watch from afar because it's like I see that thing really get to where it could have went left and everything. But he looked at their books like 9 books, like no, something ain't right. Y'all cheated, and he turned the whole thing over. And I was like, hey, I told you to pay attention. You ain't listen. Sure enough, they was cheating the whole time, but he wasn't paying attention. So that was one of my favorite ones because he was always the uncle that's gonna bring the comedy to the whole thing.
No, that's a good one, man. I got plenty of card stories because my family on my mom's side, boy, they every card game you could name, boy, they own it. But our favorite, just for those that are listening, is Be It Whist, and we call it Be It Wiz, black people. But that's my favorite game. It's very very complicated, and I love that game. And shout out to my auntie Brula, like she taught me how to really get out, like get down at the big table, not the little table, but the big table. So no, one of my favorite memories was at my aunt Kim's house. Man, we went over there 61st in Rockwell, Inglewood, in Chicago, and we was over there, and they had this upstairs, and so we had this big tournament, this basketball tournament. I'll never forget it in the house. In the house, this when like the LeBron Nerf hoop. They
Yeah,
go
Nerf ones.
but we all little, and we had teams sweating and everything. Like we had a real battle, and I'll never forget, man. We won the championship, and then we played double dribble after that. But it was just like the favorite memories of being with your family, your cousins, playing the game of your life, and we just all there. And this last bucket count, and I made the game winner. And then when I went up for the dunk, my nose got broke and all of that at the family gathering. but they just told you put some ice on it to keep it moving, and we ate food and kept it moving. So I just appreciate family, the way we was raised and how times used to be. No, not a lot of drama, not this whole theme of the sexy red stuff. And we live in a crucial hard world, man. Let's just call it what it is, bro. Man. We live in a hard world, dog. So tell me, if you could take something from the old school and bring it into the new school, what would it be?
For me, it'd be no cell phones, no tablets. Because think about it right now, the average kid that's probably under 16, they're coming with a tablet or a phone to whoever's household that is. And unless those parents are telling them, do not be on your cell phone all day, engage with your cousins, engage with your friends, engage with, whoever, the co-workers, kids and things like that, or you may have to take it. I feel like we didn't have those. We had to be sociable. We didn't have those distractions, if you will. One of the things that I do a lot when being in sales, I get to look at people at lunchtime a lot of times, and dinner time for that matter. And when you see couples, I like to see the couples that don't look at their phone at all when they're on the date, not one time. And then I look at the couples who are looking at their phone the whole time. Like he's sitting there eating, she on her phone the whole time, or vice versa. So I feel like if I can bring that into today's world, it'd be to get rid of that, because I feel like if you're talking about the big mamas, we only have a few of them left. You got to engage that wisdom while it's here. Because I lost my grandmother on my dad's side when I was probably uh, 8 years old, and then I lost my mom's mom back in '93. So I was a freshman in high school at that time, and so my thing is, when you lose them, it's never going to be a perfect time. Let me say that, and that brings me to the folks right now who are going through a bittersweet moment, because this is not a happy moment for them because they lost a loved one, and the holiday is a hard time for some folks. This is a depression stage for some folks. So my thing is, I'm gonna hit y'all with something on a positive note. I lost an aunt a few years ago, and I had to fly to Detroit. It was thunderstorm and everything here. And when I got up in the plane, finally after all of the rain, you seen a little glimpse of some sun, just a glimpse, almost like a sunrise. And God told me in that moment that the closer you get to him in the storm, the brighter your days will become. So I had to say that when I went to that home going, and it blessed a lot of people. People came up to me and was speaking to me and everything, like, young man, that was really good. And I'm one of those, I normally sit in the back. I don't get up there and talk at nobody's home going, but I was led to go up there. So today may not be a day that you feel is going to be great, but try to make the best of it. Go be amongst friends, go be amongst family. Get away from being isolated. Get away from, woe is me, and try to get amongst people who love you. That's my advice.
Well, let me bring a little laughter to it. Big Mama say laughter is good for the soul. So Rome got on a serious tip, but if at my home going, if I die before Romy, I want you to get up there. I want you to rock the mic, you and Suge. I want y'all to get up there together and tell all the ignorant memories we got, all of them. Because at that point, it ain't gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to show all the ignorant memories that we have and how I made y'all laugh at all the crazy stuff I done did. And so to me, it's going to be able to celebrate me for the good times and the good memories of all that we share. So if I die first, you get the mic and you rock the mic, especially you should. I want Suge to be able to get up there and tell all the ignorant stories. So that's just me personally, because I just believe even when you go through something like this, you need to find some way to be able to laugh. create good, or focus on the good memories. I was just speaking to one of my friends a few hours ago, and they was telling me about somebody that couldn't get over a death that was maybe 3 years ago or 2 years, 4 years ago. And I was like, man, my sister been dead since 2008, and it still feel like yesterday. Sometimes it still feel fresh, and because I don't think that's something I would ever get over. Because when you close to somebody like that, and you have a great relationship with somebody, and they taken away, that's a void. It's an emptiness in the inside, right? And we hear Big Mama. She always say, "Well, God can fulfill every emptiness," and that's fine. But at the end of the day, you still are human. And so you still have emotions and you still have connections. And so my thing is, it's good to go out here, bust a laugh, and it's good to be sad as well. There are seasons for everything. That's what I think, me personally. Right.
No, that was good, bro.
Right. So that's what I think. So what else you want to go with it, Ron? How else you want to tell the people about the gratitude and the Thanksgiving?
No, no, man. I know a few years ago, I like you talking about doing something fun. Besides the card games and things like that, I know we used to do when I was in college and high school. We used to do all the cousins to get together and go to the movies after everybody ate. So if it was 8 o'clock movie, 9 o'clock movie, whatever the hottest movie that was out, we would go and do that because let's be honest, man. The older you get, people start moving away. Some people move out of state. You just don't get to link up as much. So we, cherish those moments. Cherish those times because just like we was talking about, tomorrow's not promised. And you hear people all the time, Big Mama. I was just talking to him. I was just talking to her. You hear that, but that's what Los, Los try to make y'all laugh and want us to get up there and speak like that. But what he's talking about is you celebrating. You shared your tears, but you're able to celebrate and have those memories. So we always say amongst each other, all three of us, Suge included, create memories. So that way you're not living off of high school memories, middle school memories. That way you can say, hey, I was just with him this summer. I was just with him in August. I was just with him, this time. I just seen her this day. Go to lunch with people. Go to dinner with folks. You know what I'm saying? Cherish the moment because, like I said, we don't have too many more of the big mamas. Like you're talking about your aunts and everybody. Cherish them like you do. You talk to them a lot. Keep that going, man, because you got to savor those moments.
Right. And just just a piggyback, if you are thinking about somebody in your family, right? Or matter of fact, let me go even deeper. I'm gonna go spiritual. If somebody offended you, right, and you got some beef with somebody in your family or friends, this is what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go ahead and handle that and then come back to be able to give praise and honor to Jehovah God. That's what you're supposed to do, right? So I'm just encouraging you to dig deep, with the enemies, because you want to go. It's always gonna be somebody that got something to say about you, talk about you. It's gonna be people that don't like you, but you got to be able to smile through it all, right? I try to find myself smiling through it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, because this too shall pass, is what Big Mama said. She said, don't tomorrow, no, it said, don't today have enough problems of his own. Let tomorrow worry about tomorrow. That was deep. I shared that scripture with one of my nephews recently. He was like, man, I didn't know that was in there. Yeah, it's in there, nephew. It's in there. So I mean, it's all about how you really delivering this so people can understand. And so I'm saying all of this to people and people out here on it that's listening is I want you to feel encouraged to be able to understand that if you're thinking about somebody and you got somebody on your mind, your cousins, whatever, pick up the phone, send a text. It's no excuse now to be able to call somebody, see how they doing, checking on them. Even if it's slipping your mind, just see what's going on with them, man, because it's a lot of people suffering, man. We live I didn't even know what anxiety was when I was a shorty. Depression, what's that? Because we was taught to pick it up, huh? You fail, get up, get back on the bike, huh? But my knee, get back on the bike. That's immediately. You got to get on there immediately, because if you don't do it immediately, the bite and that fall conquered you. Now you created a fear that you don't never want to do it. Big Mama said, if a dog ever bites you, you better bite him back, right? And she cussed a little bit, but the point is, you ain't supposed to be able to live in fear. You're supposed to be able to conquer the things that you go through and you've been through. And so my thing is, I'm just trying to give y'all some encouragement to be able to call the people you may have got into it with. Understanding Rome says something very important. Big mamas are actually dying off. There's not a lot of them, right, out here. Real, I'm talking about real big mamas. And let me explain to you what a real big mama is, right? If I'm down and out, I lose my job, I'm getting ready to be homeless on the street. We all had a big mama that we could call to say, hey, big mama, I ain't got no job. Come on in, baby. And now it might be some contingencies, right? You might be in there living for free, but she gonna make you clean up. She gonna make you cut the grass. She gonna make you do some stuff. So it ain't really free. But the thing is, her love was just overwhelming. And she always had, what up, though, Jeff? So she always had room for somebody to come in. She always had room for somebody to come in, and she always had love for one another. And so my thing is, that's what a true big mama is. Did you have somebody like that in your life or family room that was able to accept anybody in?
Yeah. She was known to family and friends as Aunt Cora, my mom's mom. She, I mean, I remember like she's one of those big mamas where if she cooks something, like you invite your friend, like, hey, grandma, I introduce her, we playing a video game, and then she come in there like, hey, I'm making this. And then my friend be like, man, I just ate. Like, look, dude, I don't care if you just ate. You got to eat. You gotta eat a little bit. Just like grandma, he just ate. Give him a little bit. She wasn't gonna let you come to her house and you not eat, because she told me you never know what somebody's going through, and that was the first person that told me that. Like, and I'm looking like she's like, because kids will tell you, oh, I ate, but you never know if that person really ate. And I'm like, well, grandma, you can see he ate. Look how big he is. She's like, shut up. And then she's, because but it was like she was really that true, big mama love that you spoke about, and like you said, that overwhelming love. And see, Jeff, even though, like, man, like when she would come to the school, I remember one time, how the kids, you had them candy drives, and you got to pick up the candy. Now, keep in mind, I never was the number one. Probably had 200 items. I got like 5 items, a box, and I'm ready to go. I come outside, the car is empty. I'm like, Lord help me. Please tell me my grandmother didn't come into school. So everybody all my friends knew my grandmother. So they like, hey man, your grandma going in every classroom, opening the door, calling your name. I'm like, no, man, she didn't do that. Please tell me she didn't do that. And they like, yeah. They like, man, last time she was around the corner right there. So then I go finally find her. I get to the car. My uncle was out there. I was telling you about my Uncle Kurt. I'm like, listen, bro, why did you let her get out of the car, man? He was like, well, she was concerned. I said, I only had 5 items. You you didn't need to let her get out the car, man. But she was definitely a woman of love, and she didn't play about her kids.
Did Big Mama have on the house coat? That's all I want to know.
No. She didn't do that. She did that at the house, but she didn't do that at the school. She knew not to come to the school like that, type of thing. Man, no, that would have been.
Well, now they call them moo-moos. And no, for real, they call them moo-moos now, and most people wear them out in public. And not saying that's disrespectful, like it's pajamas. So what I'm saying to you is, Big Mama, like Madea and them, because I remember my Big Mama used to wear them. Them
to the school?
Huh?
To the school?
Wherever.
Oh,
hey, I'm sorry, Mama, because my mama gonna say my mama didn't wear that. Hey, but I remember in my memories, right? In my memories, Big Mama had that on all the time. And if you ask me, because I know she died when I was like 8 or 9, she had it on every day. If you ask me, Jeff was a wild loss. Hey, but Jeff also said, ain't too many more. We need big mamas again. And so my thing is, I don't even know how could you recreate a big mama. You got Elon Musk getting ready to do robots. So I don't True Mumu, see Lodo I'm talking about. So I don't even know how you recreate a big mama when you got robots coming, you got all of this stuff that's happening in the world. How do you even recreate some of that old school sayings and old school? Because see, Big Mama could say something that get in your spirit, like instantly. Like say for example, I remember, like, say for example, you getting ready to you raging, you getting ready to go fight somebody, right? And I'm talking about you extremely 38 hot, got the gun, getting ready to go retaliate, whatever. Big Mama had the ability to say something to you that can change your whole demeanor. You will instantly start crying, put down the gun, put down your frustration, laying your burden down. When do we get back to the true Big Mama isms? That's what I'm talking about.
Mm. You know, you bring up a good point, man. The crazy thing is right now is that you see so many younger grandmothers out there right now. I mean, when I say younger, I'm talking early 50s, even the 40s. Some people are even grandparents in their 30s, you know, in the late 30s and stuff. So it's one of those things where because of the youth, it's kind of hard when the grandmother today, you can't even use the word big mama in most cases, but the grandmother today, she more focused about the nightclub or the lounge than anything else. So if she's not present, how is the young man and the young lady going to get there? Because that's the way my big mama was, man. I could be playing that video game and she was gonna make me listen to what she had to say. Like I could be playing the game and she'd say, you know what? And I'm like, oh, here we go. So what I got to do? I got to press pause because now my mind is not on the game. I'm listening because it's a respect. It was a reverence. I'm like, I come in there and sit down and listen to what she had to say, you know. And I'm glad I did that because I look at my family like the movie. You ever seen the movie Soul Food? The movie Soul Food. You know how the little boy was and how he put. That's how it was for me. Like when my grandmother spoke, I'm always was the one listening to her. Like, hey, you know, this is real. So that movie resonated with me because when she went to the hospital like that, it was very similar to my grandmother how everything happened. And I was in college by the time that movie came out, and I did a paper on it. I remember the girlfriend I had at the time. She was like, "I don't see why you having writer's block." She said, "This has your family all over it. Why you just don't just go with the flow?" And I was like, "Dang!" Like when she said that, I'm like, "You know what? She right." Got an A on the paper, no problems. But that movie resonated just because I was looking at everything, and I was like, "Man, this is a true big mama, as you call it, the big mama ism." You able to get that wisdom today? How do you to answer your question, how do you bring that in today? I would say the places of worship. The places of worship. Everybody got different names that they call it. Some places call it the mothers of the church, the elders of the church, or whatever, you know, place of worship that you go to. But I think those are the last of the big mamas from the era that we grew up in that we know. I remember when I did altar call over at the church. I remember when I went up, the mother of the church touched my back, and you could tell she was praying for me. And you know, in today's times, you probably wouldn't really get that, but it's something about those that the older saints, man. They don't care. They're not there for the hooplas. They don't care about the cameras. They gonna make sure they praying for you and things like that. So I think we got to have the mothers really pouring that wisdom, and you got those matriarchs out there that want that because it just seems like when I'm seeing it's too many wanting to be outside, as they say, too many people want to be outside instead of pouring into the kids.
So I'm gonna just address what Jeff was talking about. He's saying the women and the men of the 1980s and 90s, they should be responsible for passing down this knowledge. The problem is the real big mamas and them came from sharecropping and the civil rights movement, right? And we come from the drug and crack epidemic, right? And so just think about it. That the 80s and 90s was all drug, gangster rap, etc. Right? It's two different messages that you're getting. Our big mama was teaching us about Emmett Till, Jim Brown, Jim Crow. You understood the specific O.J. Simpson, like people that paved Jackie Robinson, people that paved the way. W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington. I could go on and on and on about the things that you learned from Big Mama and how we used to be back in when we came over and segregation. And so your mama and them ain't talking about that. They talking about Easy E them and Freaknik. And it's a different era. So although they can be talking about what Big Mama told them, they not relating to a lot of that, because the true lessons that they was taught is not relatable. And you know why I say this, Jeff? And mainly because it's a different era, right? We try to raise, and you know how I know it's a different era? Name one person that's been with extension cord or it don't happen like that nowadays, right? So we trickle down, and so now we raising our kids different, right? And so now that we raising our kids different, they become soft, and they don't know how to go to the store to go get 3 eggs and come back and mix it up to make some cornbread. They don't know how to do that, and so at the end of the day, we were forced to be more independent back then. And we need to be able to do like Rome said, take away these phones and tablets to make our kids more responsible again. So forget Make America Great Again. Let's make these kids more responsible again. That's my theory.
Make these kids more responsible. Well, that to piggyback off what you said, man. I was talking to somebody one time at the barbershop, and they said, "What do you think is missing with the generations, that's coming up now, opposed to how we were raised?" And I said, "Oh, it's easy." I said, "Think of how many times we heard the word no coming up as a kid. Ma, I want them new J's. No. Ma, I want to go to this house party. No. Ma, I want to do this. No." So our generation came along, and let's just be honest, our generation, people got degrees, master degrees, doctorate degrees. So we do a lot of pouring into our kids what we couldn't have at an early age. But they don't get to appreciate what we're giving them. It's almost like they overprivileged in the sense, people say underprivileged, they overprivileged in the situation, and they basically get to a point to where they just basically, we reward them because some people got good kids. Some people, their kids stay on the honor roll. We get it. You reward them. Like they even encourage that, like that you reward your kids. You have some type of reward system. But I got a problem with that reward system in sports. Everybody get a medal now. Every week you getting a medal. And you like, man, Buddy ain't even play defense. He was sitting there looking at the stands like this. But we giving everybody, when we came up, Los won first place because he earned it. Jeff won second place because he earned it. Low won third place because she earned it. I don't get a dang on just, oh, you get this little cuddle, come over here and get a hug. No, I was over there salty crying on somebody's shoulders because I wasn't in the top 3. But you know what it taught me? Aaliyah made a song. Shout out to the D. At first you don't succeed. Dust yourself off and try again. When she made that song, that's the era, that's the generation that we came up in. You may not get it that first go round, but you gotta dust yourself off and try again. Like, hey, I ain't winning that spelling bee this year, but next year I'm gonna get it. We heard the words no, we had to learn life lessons, and I think that's what's missing today.
Speaking of that, I just watched Akeelah and the Bee with my son. Man, that was a really good movie, and I suggest that y'all watch again. Just run that one back, because I mean, she even tried. Her heart was so big, she tried to lose the spelling bee. See how my man was being disciplined and so hard by his father. She was like, "I'll lose because I'll be back next year. Let him win this year." And then he was like, "No, let's go all the way to the end. Don't treat me like no charity case." And I thought that was phenomenal, man. But let's. I'm gonna end. It was a good movie, Jeff. I appreciate Low Jeff being in the comments. Really appreciate everything that y'all have to offer. Make sure y'all check out my man Jeff show, Middle Ground with Jeff. That man Cole, he do music, he do interviews, and he on his way up as well. And we appreciate his support. You too, Lo. Thank you so much for all that you do. Everybody listen. Do you have any closing remarks for us, Romy? And I just appreciate y'all just kicking it with us because we just shooting the breeze. We kicking it today.
We kicking it. No, yeah, I'll close out with some closing remarks and just say that people, again, slow down out there. You know, you gonna get to your plate. You gonna get your plate. Don't worry about it. You know, when you go be with family and friends, take your time to get there. Pay attention and be aware of your surroundings because there's nothing, you know, I would rather you be 30 minutes late than to try to get there extra 15 minutes early and end up in the hospital somewhere. So my thing is take your time, you know, spend your time with your loved ones, your friends, you know, and definitely reflect and speak to the elders in the family. Really get that wisdom. You know, Los has the privilege of having pops around every day that he could talk to. And to have that generation and get that type of wisdom is powerful, and to have access to that. So, you know, whenever I see an elderly person, whether I'm at the mall, whether I'm at the gym, at the airport, I always have a conversation. I just spark up a conversation. And I always say, you know, don't take it for granted because their wisdom, you know, you got to remember, it looked like it's far away, but you'll be in the 60s soon. You'll be in the 70s soon. So you got to appreciate what they're telling you, where they are at the age that they are. So that's my take. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe out there, and we love you.
Yes, yes. And just to reiterate that as well, one of my favorite movies is The Karate Kid, right? And Mr. Miyagi told that man, "I want you to close eye." He said, "Close eye," and he put on the little headband and he told that man, "Breathe in, breathe out." Breathe in, breathe out. And then that's when he started doing the wax on, wax off. But what he was trying to explain to him is, I want you to focus on the essence of life, and that's breathing in and breathing out. And so, as long as God gives you breath, you want to be able to focus on the reality of what He gave you to be able to carry out your purpose. Because we all have a purpose in life, right? So, if you concentrate on your breathing in and breathing out, so for Thanksgiving, for family time, whatever you're doing tomorrow, I want you to focus on life in today. Live in today. Live in today. Focus on those things, on whatsoever is good, a good report, just, pure. Those are the things, because we all got problems. We all can talk about our bills and these kids driving us crazy and the car note, and I got to go pick up some furniture. Shut up. But I'm just saying, we all got some problems that we could talk about, right? But focus on the things that's good, the good things in life. And then if you do that, I think everything else will work out. You know how I know? It say all things work together, not some. All things work together for good to those who love God and called according to his purpose. Y'all have a good night. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.